Another piece of legislation has been referred to as the Tebow Bill that originated out of Florida with Tebow Bill, and what this does is allow private school and homeschool students to participate in extracurricular activities at their local public school. It would channel through the local school board, and that the students would have to meet certain academic standards and behavior and etc., and basically follow the same rules and guidelines as the public school children do when it comes to that extracurricular activity.
Right.
So I'm excited about that. I think it's a bill that promotes fairness, and that we all pay sales tax in, and the state applies that money per pupil to our children. But private schoolers and homeschoolers pay extra in that they're paying for that private school, or they're paying for that homeschool material and putting forth that effort. So to me, if anyone deserves for their children to participate in a state-funded extracurricular activity, it would be those who are going the extra mile in terms of what they're investing in their children, so who do not get to participate. So this would apply to from 7th graders to 12th graders,
Right.
and give them the opportunity to play in extracurricular activities, which has become the #1 ticket these days for a scholarship to college.
Yeah, there's tons of kids. Well, I say tons of kids. There's a lot of kids in our area that, and a little bit earlier you was talking about how talented some of our kids are in athletics, and how dedicated some of our coaching staffs are in the area. They produce a lot of college class athletes.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
We got kids from pretty much every school in this area that I know of that's playing at a college somewhere right now. So,
to me, what this bill does is give the student that's homeschooled or private schooled the opportunity to compete with his fellow peers in the community, and gives an opportunity to try to gain a scholarship, to college, and to help pay for his future college if he can compete at that level. And so, in terms of fairness, I believe that's what we need to do.
is this something that other states are doing? I mean, how many other states have this?
It's currently 29 other states have passed the same or similar legislation, and there's actually about 15 states that are proposing it this year for the same or similar legislation. And I believe in the near future the nation as a whole will participate in what is being termed equal access.
So there is a lot of states that have this, and more that are desiring to have it. And
Exactly. It just gives equal access to students across the board, regardless of whether you're private schooled, homeschooled, or public schooled, or other, as long as you meet certain academic standards and live in the locally zoned school district, channel through the board. Now there's provisions, and there's some guidelines by all means. You couldn't just be a student who was failing in the public school system and dropped out and became a homeschooler and then expect to continue playing the sport.
Right.
You'd have to meet certain academic standards, whether through testing or semester test or placement test, whatever the case may be. And some of that can even be at the local board's discretion out of how that comes about.
Right. So, and this would be something that some folks might say, but that wouldn't work apparently. You couldn't, basically, this is kind of a dirty word for public schools, but you couldn't recruit an athlete outside your area and say, hey, why don't you come into our city or our county and let us graft you into our program.
Correct.
It wouldn't work that way.
Correct. In the bill that I'm offering, we're looking at stating that the child would have to have lived in the district 9 months a year prior to enrolling in the program. And in order to play athletics at a school, you have to enroll in the first semester.
Right.
In the first place. And also a restriction in there in regards to failing. If you're failing in the public school system, then you're out for the next year.
Right.
Comparable to public system. But nevertheless, ultimately what the bill is aimed at doing is providing an opportunity for all students to get to participate in these extracurricular activities, which has become the number one ticket for scholarships these days, and gives them that opportunity.
Right.